Now when you're ready to unwind, just start to walk your hands up. If you need a down dog moment, you're welcome to take it, or just slide the right shin back to meet the left shin. And then take a moment, cat and cow. Just round the spine, and then drop the belly. Now this time round the spine, and when you drop the belly, walk your arms forward. Oh, there goes the bubble. Coming into puppy pose, letting yourself sink in. Now here, roll forward, come all the way down towards your belly. Now, you can slide the hands so they might get a little bit wider, and you might even be up on your fingertips. And just let yourself kind of roll up and then roll down. And just letting yourself have some space to move, letting yourself move the shoulders independently of each other. If you'd like, you might even start to bring the legs into it. But it's more just a chance to start to unwind things. One more time. Here you might even pause, lift it. And again, my hips are still on the ground. I know my chest is pretty high, but I'm really using my legs to support so I'm not going into my low back. And then slowly drop your belly back down, hands under the shoulders, either child's pose or reverse the push-up if you're in the mood, and then up and back, downward facing dog. And just take a moment, you can kind of ground your heels, maybe a little rock side to side. And then as we get ready to step forward, let the left leg lift. You might take a moment to open your hip. And then just pull the left knee up and into your belly. And just coming in towards the lunge. So you can lower the right shin down. Take a breath and inhale up. Now this time take the left hand to left hip. As you start to reach over, you're actually going to start to work more towards a twist. And your hips can be high or low here, but I find with the twist, a lot of times you can get a little bit more around the waist if you are up a little bit higher. And then inhale, try to keep your hips very still, and then open the right arm back. And then inhale, come back up to the center. Exhale, let your hands come on down. Now your call as you lengthen the left leg, you can either stay in the half split or sit all the way back towards the right heel. So I know you can't see Tank right now, but he's basically sleeping right underneath the camera. So if you start hearing a weird rumbling, it might be him snoring. Give it another breath. Now when you start to shift forward here, we're heading towards half pigeon. So if you want to come onto your back, it's totally fine. Or letting yourself sink forward, wiggling the left foot over towards the right edge of your mat. And then just lengthening the right leg behind you. And try to keep the back leg really active too. You can stay high, or if you prefer, sinking in. It's another Tanky. He's trying to hide from me so he can scratch. Because he knows I tell him not to scratch. Tank, stop! Give another breath here. Now when you're ready, we're actually going to come up to standing. So as you press up, you can kind of gather your hands up underneath you. If you need a second to release the left leg, you certainly could, or just step it up, and then step the right foot up too. Inhale, come all the way up, and then exhale, hands coming down and into the heart. So here, bringing a little bit more into that figure four shape, just bend the knees, draw the arms up high. Now as you push down, pull the right leg up with you. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and then sink in. Now left hand to left hip will help. Bring your right hand down towards the right big toe. Come up to stand, take the right knee with you. Now you could stay just like this. If you feel like you can extend the leg at this point, go right ahead. You can always let go of the foot and just hover it. Give it another breath. Now bring it back in, cross it over the left thigh again. Take a second just to sink it in. And then just pull up and place the right foot on the ground. Shake it out if you need a moment. And then soften the knees, draw the arms up. Press down, pull the left knee up. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and then sink in. Take your right hand to your right hip, left hand to left big toe. Pull up, and you can take the left foot with you. If you feel comfortable extending it, draw it out long. Then just bend the knee, bring it back onto your right thigh. Back to the figure four just for a pause. And then here, come on up, and then just unwind. Standing towards the top of the mat, take an inhale, reach up high. Now here, just let yourself pull the left knee up into your belly. Place your left foot down, step your right leg back towards a lunge. Pull the right leg back up, Left knee up to the belly. Now if you'd rather stay still, just step the right leg back to a lunge, or I'm gonna meet you there in a second. Draw back up one more time, left knee high. Now left foot down, take the right leg back to the lunge. Now this time, the knee's gonna stay lifted unless you prefer just to drop it down, which is totally fine. Take the left hand to left hip, right arm up high. Now start to bring the right arm towards the outside of the left leg. Now if you'd like to start to slide down more towards your elbow, pressing into the arms to open up the chest. Back knee can always be on the mat if you prefer. Give it another breath. Now here, take a little turn to the right. Take Skandasana, high or low. If you're comfortable with it, you can always come up onto your left heel. Now if you have blocks, you might want to have them nearby. Walk over towards your left leg. And then here, you might shorten your stance a bit. And then we're coming towards pyramid. So it's very similar to the half split shape if you'd rather be down towards the floor, of course. And then here, just think about drawing your heart forward. Give it an inhale, lengthening your spine away. And then, as you wish, let yourself fold in a little bit deeper over your left leg, excuse me. Now, if you're happy here, just stay. You want to bring a little bit more excitement into it. You might float the right leg to standing split. You can play with taking your hands up off the ground. Just give yourself a moment, and don't worry if it's not perfect. Then all you're going to do from here is stretch that right leg way back. One more time, shift over to the right, take the Skandasana moment. And then come back around towards the left leg. Lower down the right shin for a moment, and then heel toe your left foot to the right edge of the mat, like you're coming to pigeon. But instead of regular pigeon, swing, I'll turn to face you, right leg around, and now it's double pigeon, happy hips. Now you could do this laying on your back if you wanted to. You could always put a block in front of the right leg and kind of shift the foot off so it's not as intense. And then you just choose. You can stay tall or fold forward. I like to fold forward, kind of wiggling around, get my sits bones on the ground, and then you can bring the forearms down in front of the shins. And just take a moment to breathe. So if you haven't already noticed, today's practice has a little bit more of a hip and hamstring focus. So if you don't like hips and hamstrings, you're not going to enjoy this at all. But nothing overly intense, just moving around a little bit. Now here, inhale, draw yourself up. Reach down towards your right big toe with your right hand. Extend the right leg out in front of you. See if you can catch your left big toe with your left hand. And then draw the left leg up too. So turn to looking at the back of my legs. So you're just coming in towards a boat variation. Now if you can, without making yourself dizzy, let your head drop back. It changes the balance. Good. Then maybe think of it less of core, more of doing a forward fold, balancing on your bum. How close can you bring those legs? You can bend your knees. Then see, can you let go and float them? Give another breath. And then just nice and easy, cross the ankles. Now, if you want to rock back, rock forward, jump to chaturanga, you could. Or you can just simply roll forward, step back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, or perhaps it's cobra. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Now just take a moment here and let your heels just drop over towards the left. Come to the center, drop towards the right. If that feels good, you want a little bit more, and let them drop to the left. Bend your knees. You might even sweep the right arm down by your side, and then up and over. And then heels go right, sink back, up and over. One more time each side if you like it. If you don't, you can always just stay still. Inhale. That's the beauty of this, especially when I can't see you. You can do whatever you damn well please. Draw yourself up, hips high. Now here, take the right leg up. And then step forward into warrior two. So don't worry, I'm going to even you off in a second. But right now, just kind of balancing out the other side with some different movements. So coiling it up. And then exhale, down and out. Inhale. And then exhale. One more time, coiling in. Now this time when you sink down, try to maybe drop a little bit deeper, but with activation to your left leg. So you're not just sinking into flexibility, it's like you're actually squeezing your legs at the same time. And then left arm can drop behind the back. Sweep that right arm up and over, just getting deep through the side waist. And then as you shift forward towards the shape of Parsvakonasana side angle, you just choose how high you are. You might bring your right hand down to the earth. Left arm can sweep up and over your ear. You might choose to stay up much higher than this. Today I'm just in the mood to be in this height. You can always change it. Give it another breath. Now inhale, let the left arm come down. Shift the weight towards your left leg just to give the right leg a moment to pause. Now we're going to step all the way up over the right leg. So as you come around to the front, if you need to, you might even step the foot a little closer here. And then pull it up. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And then sink in. Now right hand to right hip, left hand to big toe. Draw up. You might stay here with the knee bent. You can extend the left leg out in front. If you wish, open it out to the left. Right arm to the right. And then draw the leg back up. Give a little extra lift. And then just draw the left foot down to meet the right. Now here, just right knee pulls up. Bring it down, step the left leg back. Again, if you'd rather stay still, just stay in the lunge with the left leg back. Right knee up. And then step back. I thought my balance was okay on the other side. Now I'm falling all over the place. Okay. Left leg comes back. And then pause. Again, make sure you're not in a tightrope. Feet or hips distance. Left knee can always be on the ground. Right hand to right hip, left arm comes up. And then just letting yourself twist. Now you might keep the twist high, or start to let your left elbow sink in. You might press into the right hand and open your chest even more. Try to lift up the left thigh, but then sink your right hip. Give another breath where you are. And then when you're ready to unwind it, let yourself turn towards the left, bend the left knee, coming off of that right leg just for a second. And then here's where you might want the block. So walk towards your right leg. You might need to shorten your stance a smidge. And then just think tailbone back, heart forward, just like when you were folding forward in the figure four. Eventually your belly, chest, chin might come down towards the leg. But notice if your low back is rounding a lot, because if it is, you're kind of losing some of the integrity of the actual opening of the stretch, even though it might feel like you're stretching more. Now yogi's choice, either stay or shift the weight to the right foot and then float the left leg to the sky. And it's honestly not about how high you lift the left leg, it's more about how you can fold over the right. Maybe you play with coming up a little bit, so you can try to play with taking the hands off the ground. I usually have to soften my knee a little bit to be able to do that. And then when you're ready, just shift the left foot back. You might have to readjust your feet a smidge. And then just shift up and over, get off the right hip for a sec. And then come back around to the front, heel toeing your right foot towards the left edge of your mat. And then bringing the left leg around for double pigeon. And truly, if you want to stay in half pigeon, totally fine. Stay up tall. I need to kind of readjust my sits bone because I turned to face you, and then let yourself sink in. Again, if the folding forward action doesn't work for you, just let yourself come into a shape that does. Save you the butt view of the Navasana. Take a couple breaths here. And I know for myself, I'm not exactly sure why. This particular outer hip for me has been really, really tight. So you'll probably notice one side might have a little more sensation than the other. So here, reach down towards your left big toe with your left hand. Draw the leg up. Try to do the same with the right. Now this time, instead of legs close, maybe go wide. Now, be careful. Look behind you. Make sure there's no obstacles there. We're going to do a little rolling. So tuck your chin, round your spine, roll back, let your toes touch, and then see if you can rock back up. Sometimes you get stuck. I'm not making this up, it's a real thing. So tall, whew. Try one more time. It is just kind of funny too, but it's so much harder than it seems like it should be. Oh, going down. Oh, I needed that. Okay, anyway, bring your legs together. Float. Now, chaturanga. So if you want, that little rock we just did can be your momentum to rock it down, rock it forward, and then hop. But sliding back, walking back, however you want to get there. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your heels drop to the right, knees can bend. Again, if you like that movement through the arm, shift left, sink in, open up. One more time each side. If you don't like it, just hang out in down dog for a moment. Maybe come to dolphin. Last time this side. And then ground down. And then just take your left leg up towards the sky. Step the left foot through. Warrior two. Take a moment to pause. And then here, scissoring, maybe changing the arms up a little bit. Just do what feels natural in your own body. And the movement in and out of the legs, it's a pulsation, just to kind of activate, but at the same time, maybe give you a moment to pause. And then come on into the warrior two shape. You can start to bring your left elbow to the inside of your thigh. Right arm might sweep. Your left hand might work its way down towards the floor, but that's totally up to you. Block is great too, and you can always stay up on your thigh. Keep squeezing muscle around the bone on the right leg too. Then just exhale, right hand down. Shift the weight back for a moment. Now remember, we're going to do the big step up. So walk towards your left leg. Start to come up on the ball of the right foot. You might even need to step it in a little bit. And as you pull your right knee up, cross it over the left thigh. Sink in, get a moment to pause. Left hand to left hip will help you with the balance. Right hand to right big toe. Draw up. You can stay here or extend. You can stay here, loop, or open it up. And then come back to the center, float it, and then just lower down. Right foot meets left. One more little shorter flow, even just really to get us down towards the floor. So inhale, sweep up. On the exhale, fold down. Inhale towards a halfway lift. Exhale, sit down. Did you see that coming? I'm not sure. So, if you have a block, grab it. We're going to do one little set of core and then a couple more stretches on the ground. If you have a block, take it and place it on your thighs. If you don't, you can actually just use your hands. It's just a little bit more reach, or you can even use a pillow or something like that at home. And then pull your feet up, knees right over the hips. They're actually a little bit away from you. That, excuse me, can be a good way to challenge yourself, but make sure your back's not arching off the floor. And then all you're gonna do is press your hands or your forearms into the block, and then the block back into your forearms. So it's gonna help activate your low belly. You can keep your head and shoulders on the ground, but you can pick them up if you want to. Now try to keep the connection, extend the right leg forward, and then bring it back in, push it back into the block. Left leg goes forward, and then take it in, and then just alternate a few times. Again, if you want to let the knees get a little bit in front of the hips, meaning away from you, that's just more challenging for the low belly. Just be really careful that you're not arching your low back. It's a lot of strain. I'm going to take 2 more on each side. Just slow and steady. I can feel it. I hope you can. Give it 1 more on each side. Ooh, pop. And then let yourself bring your legs in and then feet to the floor. Now, if you have a block, put it right underneath your sacrum and then just let your legs drop down. If you don't have a block and you want to stretch that, bridge can work too, just lifting the hips. And just giving yourself a chance to stretch out the hip flexors in case they got a little tight there. So now from here, the rest that I'm planning on doing is going to be laying down. So if you're still feeling like you want to get up and move, feel free just to kind of get up and move yourself around. But from here, hips down towards the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh in that figure 4 shape. Now use your left knee to draw the legs in. Now we're going to do a supine half pigeon, laying on our back. Reach down towards your foot with your left hand, and then right hand might come to the knee. And then try to keep the foot so it's up over your shoulder, not necessarily close to you, but over your shoulder. And then let the the left leg come down. Now, if you want more of a challenge, sorry, my allergies are drying me out. If you want more of a challenge, you could stick your foot in the crook of your elbow and wrap your elbow around the other knee and then let your head drop down. But sometimes this makes you pull your foot to your body, and that's not going to give you the same stretch. It's here. So if you need to release it and bring it back into your hand, totally fine. And by softening the left leg or pulling the left leg closer to you, It makes it a little less intense if you're having too much intensity right now. Now from here, one last little extra stretch while you're here on the ground, and I'll give it to you 2 different variations. Right hand to right foot, and then open the right leg out to the side. Or if you wish, left hand to right foot, right arm comes through the hole, and then off to the side. So it's like a supine Vishwamitrasana. Sorry, I don't know the English name for it. Compass, I guess. Ice maker. And then nice and easy, bend the right knee. Bring it back over your left thigh, just for a moment. And then tip your legs towards the left. You can hold on to your right ankle if you'd like to, or you might let the knee drop forward. It's gonna open a little bit differently through your hip. And then inhale, come on up and over, and let your knees drop over towards the right. Sorry, I'm hearing a really weird noise in my house. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Come back into the center. Unwind. It kind of sounds like an old-fashioned Wi-Fi, like when you had to do dial-up. I know many of you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. But so left ankle over your left, or right thigh rather. Hug the knees in. Now again, this side might be different than the first. I know this hip for me has been a lot tighter. So hand to knee, hand to foot. You can lower the right leg down. And think of like you were going to try to bring your toe to your face, to your head. Like you're going to put your toe in your mouth. That could be fun. Or, if you think you can, I don't think I can on this side, not as comfortably anyway, wrap the hand around the foot, foot around the hand, and see like on this side for me right now, I feel like I'm being pulled up to the sky from my chest. It's not painful, it's just I can't relax quite as much, so I'm just going to use my hand. And that for me might have to do with this hip, but it might also have to do with the knee injury that I had. It might also be because of this PT I did for the knee injury, it made this hip tighter. Who knows? Give it another breath or 2. Now, again, either left hand, left big toe, and then take the leg out to the side, or right hand to left foot. I usually do pinky side, left hand inside, and then start to lengthen out that lovely left leg. Give it another breath. This is a big side waist opening. You could always do it with a strap, but I didn't say anything about getting a strap, so that's why I didn't say too much about that. But take your left ankle, cross it over your right thigh, give one more little wrap in, and then let your legs tip to the right, left foot coming down to the floor. You can stay like that or shift the knees. You can let it drop forward. They're both going to feel good in your hip, just one's more outer, one's more inner. And then come through the center as you tip over towards the left. You might want to move your right foot to the right a little so your knee's supported. And then come back into the center, and then here, we're going to bring both legs down to the ground. So take your feet about hips distance, and if you prefer, you can always hold a block between your legs. I find that helpful sometimes too, so my knees don't go in at all. And then press down into your triceps. Now first, just pop your chest, and try to let yourself press down into the shoulder blades, and then press down into your feet, press into the forearms, and think of not just trying to lift your hips to the sky, that's the obvious part. Think sternum, chest towards your face. Pressing down to rise up, keep using your feet. You can play with lifting your heels, seeing what that does. It's going to activate your calves more, so it might give you a cramp. You can lift your toes, seeing what that does. That actually gets you more into your glutes. Now, they used to make all kinds of rules about everything you couldn't do in bridge, and quite frankly, if it doesn't hurt, just do it. That's what Shiva Ray says. Give another breath here. Now release down. Now, I'm going to lift into wheel, which you may or may not want to do. So if you'd like to lift into bridge again, go right ahead. Now what's kind of cool about this is if you lift your hips, press into your triceps, you're already kind of getting that scoop of wheel, and then you might just bring your hands back by your ears. I usually take the crown of the head just for a second, and then just letting yourself press up. And you're trying to shift your chest towards the hands a little bit. Sometimes I'll bend the elbows, let my head drop down, come back up, kind of like you're doing back bend push-ups. But use your legs. The thing we forget about is the legs are such an important part of that type of posture. And then, happy baby, letting yourself just have a moment there. And then instead of sitting up to forward fold, just bring your left foot to the floor, draw your right leg towards your face. And if you want to lengthen out the left leg, go right ahead. And then just switch, letting yourself just take a moment. So getting a pause to forward fold after the heart opening. And then from here, bring your feet to the mat, drop your knees wide, and just letting yourself come on in to Baddha Konasana, to bound angle. And then yogi's choice. You can just stay here, or if you'd like to let your arms kind of drop down, perhaps you prefer to lengthen out your legs, just giving yourself a moment to take Shavasana. And if you prefer to put your legs up on the wall, if you have the space, or another way you'd like to relax. What is this wave thing? I don't know. I'm waving to people. I don't understand what it's doing, but anyway. So, as you go out into the rest of your day, whatever is waiting for you, I challenge you to do something nice. And you probably do anyway, but maybe just something a little bit unexpected. Like yesterday I had an eye doctor's appointment and I just was thinking I have tons of hydrangeas in my yard. Hi, Mom. So I brought them a bouquet of flowers, just cause. And it happened to work out when I said to the young man checking me in that I had brought them. He's like, wow, that's really sweet. My grandmother passed away yesterday and that really gave me a good lift. I mean, I didn't know that. I was just trying to do something nice. So maybe your something nice could be way more important to somebody than you're expecting. But I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. And Dee will be here tomorrow at 8:30. I'll be back on Monday. Namaste.